What are the grammar, logic, or dialectic, and rhetoric stages of child development, and how is classical Christian education suited to meet a child and teach them at each of those given stages? Today we're going to look at the grammar stage. What is the main purpose of the grammar stage? It is to teach what is true. The grammar stage is the youngest stage of child development, and it's the point in time when a child is most fit and their brain is most malleable to the stuffing of the factoid. That is, during the grammar stage, we stuff the children full of facts, and this is the time when they learn what are those things in reality which are true. What is true in the world? Well, child, it's true that 2 plus 2 is 4. It's true that the Missouri and Mississippi rivers comprise the borders, the east-west borders of Iowa. That is true. It's true that sin is any disobedience or transgression of God's law. It is true that a sentence is comprised of subjects and verbs, perhaps prepositions and so forth. It is true that reason, or the art of reason, deals fundamentally with terms, statements, names, and definitions. So during this time, the grammar stage, when we say grammar, we are not just talking about language skills. But just as I just listed for you, each subject has a grammar to it. Certainly, language has a grammar. Latin has a grammar, and English has a grammar. But geography has a grammar. Lakes, rivers, mountains, states, seas, countries, oceans, continents, the world. See, geography has a grammar, constituent components that make up the body of knowledge that we call geography. Facts, truths. Okay? Every subject is like that. Theology is like that. Like I pointed out, what is sin? What is God? What is man? What is God's law? Math has a grammar. Counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It also has a grammar with its symbols, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. These are all the basic or fundamental components of each subject. Now, we take the child at this point in time and we teach them those fundamental elements which comprise the subject. Why? Because when they're young, their brains are very malleable and they're not suited necessarily for abstract and conceptual thinking, though they can do that to some degree. But they're most suited to songs, chants, recitations, and memorizing. And being as it's least laborious to the child when they're younger, the grammar stage seeks to take advantage of that, to cause them to recite things, to memorize things. And each subject has a grammar that we aim to teach to the child during that time, teaching them what are the facts. And as we said, geography has a grammar, English has a grammar, math has a grammar, theology has a grammar. Here's one that I wrote down that I forgot to mention, and that is history has a grammar. It has dates, places, battles, wars, outcomes, discoveries, inventions. And so during the grammar stage, we just try and teach the child what is true, what is objectively true. We try to give them, and this corresponds to the younger age, as I said. You know, in America, we call this stage of education elementary school. Why do we call it elementary school? Well, it's because it's at that time that students are taught the elements of each constituent body of knowledge, each subject. They're given the specific elements which comprise that body of knowledge. So every subject has a grammar. We teach that to the children during the grammar stage. What do they do with it? Well, they don't necessarily know, but that will come later in the logic phase where children learn to integrate and relate these facts to each other. So we'll talk about that in the next video. So hopefully we'll see you there. Until then, have a good one.